Everybody knows that Avram Avinu withstood 10 tests. It's a Mishnah in Pirkei Avot in the 5th chapter. Sarani Sinot and Nasa Avram Avinu v'Amad Bekulam. He was tested 10 times and he withstood them all. In order to proclaim how beloved is Avram Avinu, peace be upon him. According to Rashi and the Rambam, the 10th test is the Akedah. But according to the Rabbeinu Yonah, it's something in our parsha. The Rabbeinu Yonah writes, the Asiri, the 10th test, Kvurat Sara, the burial of Sara Imenu. For God had already promised Avram Avinu, arise and walk the length and the breadth of the land, for I will give it to you. When his wife passed away, he didn't find a place to bury her. He had to go purchase it. He had to go contend with the people, the Bnei Chet, with Ephron there in Hebron in order to buy it. And nonetheless, v'lo hirher, he did not protest. Lo dia kama chibato shel Avram Avinu, to tell us how beloved is Avram Avinu. Hayam anaseu, he was tested like alot labriot ki yirei elokim v'shalim b'chol amidot. How complete was the fear of God of Avram Avinu? How complete, how whole were all of his attributes? We're engaged now also in contending with the conflict between the promises we received from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, as Avram Avinu did, and the reality that we're still engaged in the kinyan, the acquisition of Eretz Yisrael, the Chizuk, the strengthening of Eretz Yisrael, the binyan, the building of Eretz Yisrael, sometimes an extremely painful and excruciating process. And it feels to us that that is our moment now. And we will keep going, whether on the front lines in the north or the south, whether on the home front in Eretz Yisrael, or whether on the home front in Chutz La'aretz. This is now our Tzav HaSha'ah, the command of the hour. It is, you could say, our Parshat HaShavua in two senses. The Orach Chaim HaKadosh last week, at the beginning of the section, the Parsha of Akedat Yitzchak, on the words, Vayihi Achar Advarim Ha'ela, and so it was after these things, explains that it means after a life lived, a life filled with trials, a life experience. Achar Advarim Ha'ela, after all that, came the big test. And we're living at that moment now, or so it feels to many of us. And we need to keep going, to stay on the same path that Avram Avinu stayed on. Not to give up, not to despair, but au contraire, to redouble our resolve and our commitment, not just to the people who are with us now, all over the world, to be thinking about the hostages, that they should be freed soon, to be thinking about our soldiers who are out on the front lines, to be thinking about Klal Yisrael generally. But even more than that, we will uphold our commitment, our faithfulness to those who sleep in the dust of Eretz Yisrael. That means Avram Avinu and Sara Imenu, who pass away in Parashat Chayei Sara in the physical sense, but in the spiritual sense, they're still very much alive with their children. Yehi Ratzon, that speedily and in our day, we will be zochim to greet Mashiach Tzidkenu, and also all of those people who are currently sleeping in the land of Israel, in the ground. Because at the end of days, in Tchiyat HaMeitim, we will see them all again. And we want to be able to say to them, we kept faithfulness with our commitments and our oaths as Jewish people to you, our forefathers and foremothers. Wishing everyone an Erev Shabbat Shalom.